Hi, I am Elizabeth from Paper Montessori, and in this video today I'm going to talk a little bit about the different materials that we used for practical life during our first year of homeschooling. My daughter turned 4 years old in November during our first year, and my son turned 2 in March, so he was very much at the end, and I followed more of a toddler work sequence with him, and with my daughter it was more primary focused. Initially, I didn't think I was going to have a video at all for practical life, and that's because I try to integrate practical life into our daily life as much as possible. So I know some people show or talk about a Montessori lesson presentation where you take a bowl of water and you teach kids how to wash their hands in that bowl of water. But that's something that just doesn't resonate with me, at least not in a homeschool environment. And part of it is because, quite frankly, something like that takes too much prep work, because I'm teaching my kids to wash their hands every day as we're getting ready to cook something or as they're going to the bathroom. And I want to be able to focus on those more value-add activities doing with my kids. Yeah, if I ran out of time, I would focus on that. But another thing that I focus for is right now when I'm recording this, it is the first day of August 1st. So we're in the middle of our summer, and during our summer I actually kind of took a step back from the works. I still have some on the shelf for the kids to choose from, but I'm really focusing more on practical life and getting our prepared environment ready and settled, and really conducive to what is going to be our next year in school. But so the way our work cycle has kind of worked this first year is I view it more or less as from breakfast to lunch. Initially I used to try to have activities for the kids in the mornings, and that just doesn't work very well for us because our house gets crazy, we leave everything in a mess, and maybe one day in the future we'll be able to go back to that, but for right now, being able to focus on what we need to do at home first really sets up the stage for success later in the day. So I view our work cycle as between breakfast and lunch. During that time period, the kids are able to choose to work with shelf work, housework, meal prep, or basically anything else that really interests them. So for me, what I focus on is I'll get up in the mornings, I have some me time. Once the kids wake up, then we make breakfast, and sometimes it's just me. I invite the children to help me, and a lot of times they do. They really like cracking eggs. We cook a hot breakfast every morning, or we eat leftovers, but I try to make sure that the kids get ample protein, fats, so cereal is kind of a rarity because I find that it really helps to manage their energy levels and helps to prevent some of the temperamental things that you end up running into with little kids. But so then, and after that, we spend the time picking up from our breakfast. And that's something that I do expect them to work on because it's part of finishing eating, is we have to put our dishes in the dishwasher. And so at that point, will also invite them to participate in some housework with me. And that'll be things like cleaning off our counters, cleaning a bathroom. One of their favorite things is washing windows. Dusting, washing the tables, a lot of these things that you would see in a Montessori album or scope and sequence as part of practical life. I don't have separate items set out for them. What I do have is I made a kid-friendly cleaner out of it's diluted vinegar, essentially. It's mostly water with a little bit of vinegar. I added a couple drops of orange and clove essential oils just for smell. And then I just keep a lot of these bar mops. They're really easy to access for the kids. I just keep them in a drawer. The kids know where they are. And I don't set them out separately because the kids know where to get them. They know how to use them, how to clean them up. One of their favorite activities is actually washing the windows. Going past the cleaning, some of the other things that we have that we do is, I know I saw in one scope and sequence that they mentioned doll washing. And while we do have a doll that my daughter bought with her allowance money, that the kids do get out and they like to wash, to me it's more of a washing themselves. When they take baths, they wash themselves, and teaching them that through practical life, that again doesn't require any extra materials other than what you already have and use at home. We also have pets. We have a dog and we have some fish, and so the children, again, when they choose to do that work, they will help feed the dog, they will help give the dog water, feed the fish, clean the fish tank, those kinds of things. And then I also have my kids attend a gymnastics class once a week as well, and that we're able to get things like walking the line, and they're able to get practical experience waiting their turn, just some of these things that you don't really have as a normal part of your home life, so that they're able to gain that exposure as well. And some other things I've kind of done around the house, I put hooks at the kids' level. So in our coat closet, if you open the door, there's actually a hook right like in the middle part of the wood where they can hook their coats in the coat closet, but easily accessible for them. And then there's also the silence game that we've done before, and it's very important for kids to practice. It's really helpful for them to practice being still and silent, but it doesn't require any materials as well. But going on, so one of the things that I consider an important material for us are our work mats. So for work mats, I actually have just a very plain basic towel. This one I got from Walmart. I think it was $1. I did not see it on the Walmart website when I was looking today, but I think I saw some for about $3 today, and it's a very cheap, very easily accessible work mat. I don't need a fancy rug. This works just fine when we lay it out. My kids are able to get things put on it. They can practice folding with it when they put it away, and then we roll it up just like you might, a work mat, and it's ready to go. And that's my large work mat. So I also have something that I use for a small work mat, and this is actually a silicone dog bowl mat. So it's designed to go underneath the dog bowl so that when a dog eats and drinks, they spill onto this and not onto your floor. But I have 2 of these, and I feel like they're really nice when the kids work with water because they do catch the spills. They're really easy to clean up and wipe up. Fairly easy to roll. I used to keep rubber bands on them. I think the only reason I don't have a rubber band on them now is because they were either lost or added to our operation game. But it's not necessary. With the kids roll it. We keep both of our work mats. I have a cube shelf, and I actually have the bins in the bottom of that cube, and all of our work mats go in one bin, as well as some extra materials for storage. And so those extra materials that we have are these plates that I got from Target. They are the Room Essentials brand, and this is a melamine, I think, dinner plate. This is a plastic dinner plate that I just picked up from Target, and it was, I believe, $2, and it's really easy to use. There's also this bowl that I use as well. Same brand, same deal. I believe you were something.
Sorry.
It's okay. So what I use for a tray, instead of going out and going crazy trying to find trays, is I actually found these dinner plates. They are the Room Essentials brand from Target. They are plastic, but what I really love about these is that they are plain white, so it's really easy for the children to see what they are working on against these. If we wanted to, we could use them as a sand tray as well by pouring sand on it. Colored sand would be very easy for children to see what they're doing in it, teaching them to be gentle. And then similarly, I use this bowl. It's a pasta bowl is what it's called. Again, Room Essentials brand. They're plastic. I know a lot of people feel like if you're going to use something, don't use plastic, use wood or porcelain or ceramic or something along those lines. But when I'm not always able to be watching what my children are doing. So if my children are overworking in the work area and I'm doing the dishes, I know that this is a way for me to have peace of mind. I do have some small items that they do have to be careful with, and I've had to glue them together as well. Again, I think it's a really good control. This is the Threshold brand. I think it's just either like a condiment bowl or a dip bowl, something called along those lines, that I got from Target. And I have a few of these. I keep like tiny geometric solids, like the kind that are used in the stereognostic bag. I keep those in here as well. And I find these things are all great for just holding different small activities on the shelves. So right along the same lines, another item that we have for practical life as far as containers and things along those lines is for pouring activities. I don't have dry beans just hanging out in my house. So what I do have are lots of pony beads because we use them for crafts. So this has been really easy. I picked, again, these measuring cups up from Target. I did a Target run and it was like, I'm gonna get some practical life items. But I got these from Target. They were only about $2 each. So that's $4 for my pouring activity. And once my kids are beyond the practical life stage, we'll use these for cooking, and we can use them now for cooking if we want to as well. And so it's not just limited to pouring activities. And it's something that I would use in my daily life instead of going out to some store and trying to find something just for this practical life activity. I'm really drawing from things that we would already use and would already be doing. Also, tweezing, tonging are things that are included in the practical life scope and sequence. These cute little hand tongs I got from Walmart for $1.50. They're only available in store, but my kids have really loved them, whether it's for an actual activity that I set out or they just get them out and want to go pick up everything with the tongs they can. Same with these little tweezers. They have been a huge hit, and it was actually they're from a Dr. Toy that my kids got. So really easy just to kind of find things that are already a part of your daily life or that you might already use to add. So next, I just wanted to share this Hape pounder. This was a Christmas present that my son got for his first birthday. I'll include the link. I know it goes for about $12 on Amazon now. It's been a favorite toy of his ever since he was about a year old, but it's great for hammering practice. For my daughter, who's 4, we actually recently gave her a hammer and let her go around on our porch and find any nails that were sticking up and get some hammering practice that way. We don't do a lot of woodworking in our family, in our home. We do home repair. We painted the walls, things along those lines. But really, I'm taking the experiences that we have in our daily life and using them as teaching opportunities rather than trying to contrive some unusual experience in our home. I know the longer we are at this, the more capacity we will have for coming up with these special projects, but I also want to make sure that we're doing things that the kids are interested in and exposing them to them without adding an extra burden to the process. So next, I wanted to share these dressing frames. These are very classical, or these are a more contemporary take on a very classical Montessori material. I purchased these off of AliExpress.com. So usually those are going to be directly from a supplier in a country like China. These were $16. I think they're going for $17 now. But these are all fasteners that children would experience now. So buckle, zip, tie, snap, lace, and button. So these are something that for my daughter, I would have never purchased. She was very proficient at dressing herself, very interested in that from a young age, but my son has had no interest. So in order to give him some experience and some exposure, I was thinking these might pique his interest a little bit more. And of course, when they came in, my daughter was really excited to use them too. And the other thing though is the lace. I don't know about your 4-year-old, but my 4-year-old has only had one pair of shoes in her whole life that had laces. So this was an opportunity to give her something, a skill that she will need at some point, but that she doesn't really have exposure to right now. Along those lines, I have these lacing cards, and these I think I got, these are from Melissa and Doug. I purchased them off of Zulily. I know they are available on Amazon now for $10. And they're pretty basic. You've got animals laced around the edges however you want. The kids like them on and off. They have not been a favorite material or toy. Sometimes they're a big hit in church, but one of the reasons I got them was because I remember using lacing cards like this when I was a child in church. But it gave me a really good foundation for sewing, and my daughter has had some interest. She wants to sew her own apron, so it's a good foundation as we get started doing that. Pretty basic, something we already have as a toy, but that's great for working on practical life skills. Next, I wanted to share this tackle box. This is our current cutting setup right now, and we'll see how well it goes. I found that when a material is in a tackle box, the kids don't tend to gravitate towards it quite as much because it's put away neatly. So I may end up changing it, but I have different types of cuts. You can get these from Teaching from a Tackle Box website. It's a Blogspot website. And I thought it was a really great idea. I already had this tackle box. I believe it was around $3 or $4 when I purchased it. I got these giant push pins for the kids to do pin punching as well, if they want to work on that with these shapes down here. And then I also have some wavy scissors that I already had. And then just a couple days ago at the Walmart back to school sale, I purchased these new scissors for my daughter. They were only about $1.50. I purchased scissors from the Dollar Tree as well, and you get 2 for a pack, so you end up getting scissors for 50 cents each, which is a great deal. The kids have used them a lot, but I think if we move on to yarn cutting, that these scissors are going to work a little bit better just because they're tighter cut. The last material that I wanted to share with you for a practical life is the Melissa and Doug bead sequencing toy. I got this with my 2-year-old in mind because bead threading is something that we haven't worked on much yet, but it would be really easy for me to get string and to make a big bead threading set with this. Again, I got this off of Zulily, but it's about $30 on Amazon. But I know for him just getting started, these have dowels and dowel holders. And so I knew that was going to be something that he could do. It goes back down to the infant and toddler processes and materials as well. And then for my 4-year-old, she's able to put these, I guess, cards in, and she can follow the sequences if she wants to, or she can make her own designs. The kids actually really love pretending like these are shish kebabs, and they like eating the food off of them. And a very interesting plus is I've actually found these dowels to be really great for my DIY math beads. But that's it. That's kind of the wrap up for all of our practical life materials. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe because there's more videos on the way. Thanks. Bye.